You are listening to EPT 100 Days, a podcast I developed for you to easily access targeted forgiveness and affirmation statements. I'm Sherry Hamilton, holistic emotional therapist at EPT Works Huntsville. EPT is short for Emotional Polarity Technique, an innovative, holistic emotional therapy that will change your life for good. 100 Days of EPT, Day 80. I give up my anger and my sadness that I have a right to. Think and speak aloud. I give up my anger and my sadness that I have a right to. This podcast is the second in a series of 5 focused on healthy living and you creating your new life with food and movement, beginning with your mind. These mini-sized EPT sessions support you in your own power and your choices in your ongoing creation of your mind, body, and spirit. These affirmations support you making conscious choices that are good and healthy every day. It is easier to see past emotional needs and coping using foods and unhealthy behaviors that can never fulfill you or add to your ongoing creation of being your best you. As you affirm giving up anger and sadness that you have a right to, I want you to recognize that you have held a space for these emotions. That space is a resource of energy for you to use in a new way. As you are enabled through forgiveness to change your mind about holding on to your anger and sadness, then you will experience the energy that exists in that space. It is tangible energy that gives you hope and boosts you through your transition. As you engage in learning and establishing your new habits of self-care and healthy balance, you will find freedom in giving up anger and sadness you have a right to. This is a key for you to resolve those difficult places where you have stalled and distracted yourself in the past. This is the very space where you face your self-sabotage head on and you win this time. It's okay if you don't always get it right. Get back up and do it again. Keep practicing paying attention to changing your mind and showing up in your ongoing creation and growth of your mind, body, and spirit. You will get through your transformational thinking and into living your life with empowered choices that continue to grow you into your amazing self. So while thinking, I give up my anger and my sadness that I have a right to, place one hand over your heart and one hand over your forehead. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Repeat, taking 2 more deep breaths in and out. Remove your hand from your forehead. Hold one hand over your heart with your thumb under one collarbone and your 4 fingers under the other collarbone. Gently rub spots below collarbones while speaking the following statements. Take a deep breath in and out after you speak aloud each statement. I acknowledge I hold space for anger and sadness I have a right to. I acknowledge I am choosing to give up my anger and sadness that I have a right to for a new experience in my life. I forgive myself for believing I can never give up my anger and sadness I have a right to. I forgive myself for believing this anger and sadness I have a right to helps keep me protected from more experiences that can pile on more anger and sadness. I forgive myself for believing because I have a right to this anger and sadness, then I must hold on to it. I forgive myself for believing it isn't right for me to let go of my anger and sadness. I forgive myself for believing I'm the only one with this anger and sadness. I forgive myself for believing it is up to me to maintain this anger and sadness, so I am vindicated. I forgive myself for believing vindication is what I want. I forgive myself for believing this anger and sadness is the only thing I'm getting. I forgive myself for believing it isn't safe for me or others for me to let go of this anger and sadness. I forgive myself for believing I don't have anything of value in my life except for this anger and sadness. I forgive myself for maintaining anger and sadness as my reason to fail. I forgive myself for using anger and sadness as my go-to issues to distract me from living with purpose and perseverance through difficulty now. I forgive myself for maintaining my inner conflict as a reason to remain powerless. I forgive myself for holding on to this anger and sadness to explain my ill health. I forgive others for expecting me to always have this anger and sadness. I forgive others for teaching me this is how I am supposed to feel. I forgive others for what they have done to me that resulted in me holding on to this anger and sadness. I forgive others for using their anger and sadness to control me. I forgive others for putting me into a values war with them, involving our competing anger and sadness. I forgive others for believing I will always be in this competition with them, competing with anger and sadness. I forgive others for using me to maintain their victimization and anger and sadness. I forgive others for teaching me that anger and sadness is a permanent result of my life. I give others permission to forgive me for changing my mind about maintaining my anger and sadness. I give others permission to forgive me for deciding to think differently about my anger and my sadness. I give others permission to forgive me for trying a new way of thinking about anger and sadness to break free of disabling family patterns. I give others permission to forgive me for giving up my need to hold space for anger and sadness. I give others permission to forgive me for emptying this space of anger and sadness and filling it with forgiveness, happiness, acceptance, truth, and fun. Without the need to hold on to anger and sadness I have a right to, I'm free to feel lighter unloading my anger and sadness. I'm free to experience something brand new in my life that frees me for new choices that feel good to me. I'm free to enjoy feeling my life without the tether of anger and sadness that disempowered me in the past. I'm free to feel empowered with new energy resources that open up massive space for my awareness and creativity for improving my choices and my life experience. I'm free to create something brand new for myself with determination and hard work to achieve what I want for my life. I'm free to enjoy fun that is healthy and balanced, honest and good for me. May you be blessed with honesty and humility in your own beautifully complex and purposeful life. May you easily let go of fantasy extremes and substitutes that can never satisfy or create an authentic, connected experience for you. May you know and experience who you are with kindness, compassion, and creativity. May you proceed in life with care and value, goodness and gratitude toward yourself and others. And may you experience true transformation in living well in newness of life.